drank pots and pots and pots and pots of strong black coffee, trying to keep my sleepy soul awake. But the sleepiness still comes along, and when it does, it's fast and strong. I end up with a bad case of the shakes.
Hey, good morning, it's Guido. It's time for a coffee talk. Got my coffee with my fruity mug today. Dark Magic, pretty good. Pretty good for the Keurig cup kind of stuff. So grab your coffee, we got some stuff to talk about today. 9.20.1 has dropped. So we are going to unpack the campaign. I've spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours futzing around, clicking through everything you can click through. And believe me, there is now a lot you can click through. So there's a couple interesting, I don't know if they're bugs or features, we'll talk about that. And they have changed the campaign around quite a bit. So we'll look in there and give an initial look. I'm sure there are some things I will have missed, but we'll talk about that. But first we'll jump into the current missions and some of the deals that are out there. Welcome to Coffee Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Grab your coffee. Let's get to it with Tanks. We'll start with the sales really quick. That way I can get my shill on. The WZ and the Pudel are both 1 day left. So if you're interested in those, they are there. We've got the Tiger 131 also in there. If we go over to the vehicles, though, something interesting I noticed. As we go down here, there's the packages with all that. The Canon D'Assault 105 is still out there. You can get the Pudel like I talked about. There's the AC, that British package is still going. But if you zing down here, something I noticed, the Fury is back on sale. So there was some discussion at the very beginning when the Fury came out, whether or not it would ever be resold because of however the agreement was with the company that made the movie. So it looks like they're allowed to sell it. So the Fury is back out there. Take a look at that if you want it. And of course, all the standard tanks. Here is something I did not realize existed. I don't even know how long this thing has been up here, but this was highlighted earlier for me and it said my coupons. And be quite honest, I don't know how long that's even been there clickable, but what I found out is when I clicked on it, because it was highlighted, that I can get a free garage slot if I buy 5,000 gold. So that's not a huge coupon, but hey, it's a little thing. You're looking for gold, make sure you use that little coupon guy right there. So I don't know where that came from, whether that's a standard one each that Wargaming gave to everybody or what's going on with that, but I thought that was actually pretty cool. So let's move on to the missions. We go over here to the mission tab, click on this, hilarity always ensues. Over to the events, this Pachelbel Cannon in D in 105 is only for the Cannon 105. So I saw this and I went, oh, that's cool, get some little goodies, and then I couldn't find a tank that would work for it. Of course, if you click on it, and you say vehicles, and it says, nope, sorry dude, you got to have this Cannon 105 AMX premium tank. So that's all right. I don't know if I've ever noticed that before where they had a mission just for that tank, but if you've bought it, make sure you're knocking those things out. The artillery on track. All right, if you're hell-bent on getting that French 155-58 auto-loading miserable tier 10 artillery, now's the time to do it because you get all these goodies. Jumping over the missions where they have still not figured out how to do a UI. This will actually play into as we talk about the campaign, but taking a quick look, large supply raid is on right now from the 16th to the 1st. These are pretty easy, vehicles destroyed, so every 50 will trip at once, so you can do that 5 times and get these goodies. You've got the 5 vehicles damaged and 2,000 damage. So you can see that I've done that. This one's very easy. This one does take quite a while. You're talking about, 250 vehicles destroyed by the time you finally get it, and I'm only tripped it twice, so I play it quite a bit. So that one will take a little while. And then gathering intel was easy. It's just spotted vehicles out there. And all these are going to happen while you play, so you don't really have to try hard to do that. Jumping down to tank rewards, which is still ongoing. And oh, by the way, for me, I haven't received my last rewards from the last time that they were updated. They're still showing as not sent, so there is something going on with tank rewards. But 1 of 4 is as it ever was. Here's the totalizer over here. 48 out of 68 is what I've done. This is the is that the day? There's the daily. The experience is the daily right there, and I've done 5 of 5 of these. So that was 1 of 4. So naturally 3 of 4 is next, right? Remember, this is how we count in Russian or Byelorussian or whatever. And then 2 of 4 is naturally after 3 of 4, as it should be. You can see that one of the big missions here is spotting. Holy cow, 25,000 spotting just a trip at once. That is quite a bit. And in general, you can probably do that just while you play. But if you're thinking about making sure you get that done, you might want to play some scouts to knock that out. There is no requirement for it to be a scout from what I can tell. It looks like pretty much anything that is, yeah, there you go. So any tank available that you have, whatever you do that actually you get damage while you spot will work. Of course, scouts are known for that. So play that as you will. Over here, this is kind of an irritating one. This is the third actually, platoon mission where you trip it just by playing a platoon. So if you have been noticing and playing, there are a lot of dynamic platoons being asked for and built in games last few weeks, and that's because of this. Very lazy for them to make 3 of the same mission within the tank rewards. I just don't quite understand that one. This is the older one. That's another platoon one. There's the 50,000 experience earned, and I've already done that and knocked it out. And remember that there's still so we've got 1 of 4. Supply rate is not related to the tank rewards. 1 of 4, 3 of 4, 2 of 4, and then the outlier. One of them is actually still sitting down here. This is the Halloween weekly 5. It's still down here in other missions. How you don't see that and fix that, I know I'd say it nearly every week, but it is amazing to me that it is still like that. However, those are the missions out there. Pretty good stuff, and like I said, the tank rewards have not been updated or given out, at least the prizes, so we're all awaiting that, I believe. Alright, so let's move on and we'll start trying to unpack the campaign as best we can. Alright, take 3 of the campaign tab. Man, this is a little bit convoluted. Okay, I have started here showing you the Stug, and the Stug 4 has the campaign camo on it. So let me describe how this works. When you get the vehicle, you get special camo with the vehicle. So when you finish all of the missions, you get the vehicle and your camo. I believe that also counts if you use orders to complete all your missions, because I have the 260. I haven't completed the medium tank number 15, and the orders were thrown in there automatically, which we'll get to in just a minute about that. And I do have the camo for the 260. For the Stug, this particular camo is actually available for all my German tanks. You're going to end up with 2 kinds of German camo because of the T-55 and the Stug. You're going to get 1 American camo, special camo, and you're going to get 1 Russian special camo for the 260. Right now, like I said, this particular camo is available to all my tanks. So if I go to the Ferdinand, I go to exterior, I click on that, you can see I've got that special camo, and that happens to be the special camo that is from the Stug. For the other 3, I can only put that camo on the actual prize tank, because I haven't finished every mission with honors. When you finish every mission with honors, then the camo is unlocked for all of your tanks for that country, which is where I get the 2 different kinds of camos for the Germans, 1 kind of camo for the Russians, and 1 kind for the Americans. So I hope that clears that up and how it works. Because I still have some missions not done with honors for the T-28, I can't do it for the T-28. Same thing applies for the T-55 and for the Object 260. All right, the little purse thing is gone, and it is over here on the main menu page or main menu section. It says campaign. Go ahead and click on it. The long-awaited backup. This is kind of a useless screen. It's pretty, but it actually is redundant, because once you click on this, you get to another screen where you can do basically everything you could do on that screen and more as far as checking everything out. So we'll go back. The one thing that this screen does have that you need or might be interested in is the campaign rewards button. So somewhere along the UI design, which is not very easy, I'm doing some of that myself, they made this pretty page, this pretty menu, and went, all right, we'll click on that, and then you got to another pretty menu, but then they gave the same functionality really to this menu, and then someone said we need a campaign rewards button, so we'll just plop it on here. The other thing I thought was interesting is somebody must be having a dance party above them, or maybe they're being bombed. But every once in a while, some dust falls down from each side right here. All right, let's go to the campaign rewards side and take a look at this. All right. So this is the only place that I can find where you can tell that you've got all the different pieces, parts to get this tank. So these 3 pieces, you're building the tank, and you get them when you finish your number 15 mission for each one of these tanks. So for LT-15, MT-15, all that good stuff. So once you get a gun, radio, tracks, engine, and hull, then you have yourself a Stug 4. And we'll talk about how you get there. But that's what that's telling you. Also down here it says what the particular awards are for this tank or for doing these missions. Down here, this is actually a badge that it's similar to the badge that you get for the ranked battles. You go up here in the top left, click on that. I'm not going to go through that, but you can click on it. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can set a badge that will show up next to your name in game, a lot like the ranked battles. And there's one for each tank. If I go to the 260, it's a special looking kind of deal right there. So you can get all the way up to this thing right here. And I want to say the best one is everything done with honors, I believe. And it's over on the 260 side. Is that what this says? It doesn't really say what it was, so there you go. I don't know why that says Ferdinand right there. Guido 12. That's because I clicked on the Ferdinand last. That's interesting. All right. What else is this telling me? The little check mark means that I have that tank, that I've finished the missions and I've got that tank. The double check mark means that I've completed all the missions for the Stug 4 with honors. That's the double check mark is what that means. Double check mark also lets you know that you've got this over here, which is what I just discussed, is the paint and is available to all of your tanks for that nation. The statistics button is pretty cool. It tells you what you have achieved so far, but it's not everything. Especially when you get up to, let's take a look at the T-55A. You can see that I've done all 75 missions, not all with honors though, because I don't have the double check mark. I have all the components, which means I have the tank. I have all 5 of the crew members because I've finished all mission 15s, but I don't have all the silver. So there's probably some silver out there available for the with honors portion, so for the secondary requirements. So I can still get a little bit of silver. But remember, at the 55 and the 260, there's things like free experience, there's some garage slots and a couple other unique things that you can actually win, and those aren't listed here on the statistics. Unfortunately, you can't tell if you still have it. And that is definitely a factor here on the T28, because I'm showing that I have all of the credits you can get, but I don't have all of the secondary stuff, and the 4 that I have not finished happen to be free experience as the secondary reward. So just know that that is out there. And that is pretty much this screen right here, what it's telling you. So let's jump back here and we'll just get into the screen where all the missions are. So let's take a look. We're on the Stug. We'll start with that. You can see that I have done all of these with honors. So light tank, medium tank, TD, and SPG shows 15 of 15 with honors. I skipped the heavy because when you click on it, the with honors part goes away and it just tells you that it's a tank destroyer. I don't know. So that's an odd thing. All right, when you look down here, you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, those are just the missions. If you highlight them or click on them, then you'll get more information on there. If you just hover over it, it'll tell you what it is as you go through. So let's go to ones I'm not done with, to the mediums, and if I highlight that, it actually gives me more information. You see I go like this, it says, yeah, you're done. But if you go over here, I still have secondary requirements to get with honors. It'll give me a little bit more information. Or if I click on it once again, I get this window that comes up and tells me what all the goodies are. Over here is the 15. Start up here with the lights. You can see I've got the engine. That's that component thing I talked about. I got the crew member, I got the silver, and I have 1 order. Let's talk about the orders. Every 15 that you do with honors, you get an order, which means you can get 5 orders per tank. So we'll go over to the Stug. So I got 5 orders with the Stug. I got 5 orders with the T28. I got 5 orders with the T55, and I got another 4 orders with the 260. because I had completed quite a bit of the campaign, what happened was and I already had the 260 because I'd done 4 of my final missions with honors. Remember, that was the old rule, which means I had 4, and I actually had many more orders because I didn't use any of these. But that's important. We'll get that in just a minute. They automatically put 4 of my orders to the MT-15, the medium tank 15. You can see that they are right there. Okay, so primary, let me put it down there, primary conditions fulfilled for, on the very bottom of that little window, times 4 orders. And that's how I got the tank. Because what they're letting you do with the orders is skip missions. Any of the first 14 missions that you want to skip, you can put an order to it, and it only takes 1 order. But if you want to skip the final mission, that takes 4 orders. So that makes total sense, right? Because there's 5 mission 15s for each tank up here. Okay, you used to have to only do 4, and you got the tank if you did them with honors. Well, now if you do 4 with honors, that ends up giving you 4 orders, and then you can apply the orders to that mission you want to skip, and you can get the tank. So that's how it works. For me, that's just adding a level of obtuseness in the middle of it. The one piece of functionality that's nice is you can avoid some of these more painful singular missions down there. But if you put an order to one of those singular missions, guess what? You're not going to have enough on the final mission. Except, and this is where it gets a little goofy. Some people are reporting that, especially people that skipped multiple 15s for different tanks. So say they were on the T-55, and they skipped all of the SPG missions for the Stug, and they skipped all the SPG missions for the T-28 HTC. What happened was their orders were automatic. Their 4 orders here, because remember they had to do it with honors, were automatically put to the SPG mission, and that's essentially how they got the SPG. Same thing for the T-28. So they're on the T-55. Well, when the patch came out, they said, all right, that's cool. I want to go back and I want to get my orders back, because the idea was, at least what they told us, is if you go back to a mission that you have an order committed to and you subsequently finish it with honors, the order comes back to you. What they found out is if they're already past that tank, they're not getting the orders back. So they're going back, they're finishing with honors, but they don't get the 4 back. They only get the 1 that you get for completing the mission with honors. So that's some kind of either a counting error. Like I said earlier, I don't know if it's a bug or a feature. So that's ongoing. Be careful about that. For me, it didn't matter. I have a ton of orders because I didn't skip anything. So I had 5, 5, 5, 4. I had 19 orders to work with. I still have 15 of them out there that are not committed. I wouldn't need to commit them because I've finished every mission, just not all of them with honors. So that is a little bit convoluted. Just watch out for that and how you want to commit your orders, especially initially. Unknown if they're going to fix that or not. And you can see down here where it says available 15, committed to mission 4. So that's how many orders. I got a bunch of orders sitting out there. All right, not much more to break down here other than let's look at the mediums once again. The little symbols are important on here. The circle double check means with honors. The check means done. So if it's empty, there you go. Nope, that's not empty. There's a check down below. I don't have any empty ones, so I can't show that to you, but that means you haven't done it. The check mark means you've done it. The double check mark circle means you've done it with honors. Don't ask me why it's a double check mark circle. For a while, it took me a while to look at that because I'm thinking, all right, I got a check mark, then we got a double check mark, and then we got some with a circle. I'm like, well, where's the double check marks? No, the double check mark circle is actually the only other one. And there you have it. So here's the orders thing where you can commit the orders right there. Like I said, you can click on these. If you take a look at that, it gives you another breakdown of what's going on. And as you can see, it's very click intensive now to try to gather all the different little pieces of information that you want. I also can't show you how to grab the reward crew because I've already grabbed all of them, but it's not that difficult. I want to say it's off of this, and maybe it's down here. Not 100% certain where that is, but it wasn't that hard to find. I did grab one more crew because I was able to finish MT-15 with orders because I had the 260, going back through that whole rigmarole there. But it didn't take me very long to figure it out, so it was not really a problem. And that is pretty much it, guys. There might even be a few more things in there. There probably are a few more things in there that maybe you've discovered. that helped you figure it out. If you did, then make sure you drop it down into the comments down below. So have another drink of coffee, and we will wrap this. All right, that is it for Coffee Talk this week. We discussed missions and sales, and we dove into the campaign stuff. Overall, on the campaign rework, I do appreciate the extra functionality on being able to get past missions. I think that their UI is a little convoluted, as it tends to be. It is pretty, so I guess I have mixed feelings about it. I like the new functionality. I like the kind of the new prize idea that they go with, but I'm not that jazzed about the UI. It just seems like there's way too many clicks, redundant stuff in there, all that kind of thing. But it is cool that you can get a special camo, and I like that you can use it for the vehicle, but then if you do everything with honors, you can unlock it for all of your vehicles. One thing I will say about that camo that I forgot to mention is there was some information out there, and whether it was official or just scuttlebutt, I don't know. I think I only read it on the forum vice really reading anything official. And if they said it in the videos, I don't remember, but I think everyone assumed that if you had bought camo for your prize tanks, that would be refunded so that you could then put on your new camo, because you probably wouldn't have bought that old camo if you were getting free camo. But turns out that's not true. If you look at this vehicle here, the 260, if I go to camouflage, you can see that I bought this one a while ago, so I can put that on now. I can switch back and forth if I want. But I didn't get any credits back. I didn't get any gold back when I went ahead and put on the special camo for the tank. So it's just sitting out there. You got two different camos for your tanks if you ended up buying it. That's just the way they ended up doing it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you coming to Coffee Talk. Have another drink, and we will see you all next week.